The internet is a vast and complex network, a sprawling digital metropolis that connects billions of devices and people across the globe. And like any sprawling metropolis, it has its fair share of hidden alleys and backrooms, places where the light of day rarely reaches. The Darknet is one such place, shrouded in secrecy and whispered about in hushed tones. It exists beneath the surface of the internet we know, a hidden realm that operates in the shadows. It is a hidden part of the internet, inaccessible to standard web browsers and intentionally concealed from the casual user. This hidden world is not indexed by traditional search engines, making it a mystery to most. Accessing this clandestine realm requires specialized software, most commonly the Tor browser, which stands for the Onion Router. This software is designed to anonymize your connection, bouncing it through a labyrinthine network of relays, making it extremely difficult to trace. Each relay peels away a layer of encryption, much like peeling an onion, hence the name. The allure of the Darknet is undeniable. It promises a level of anonymity and freedom from surveillance that is hard to find elsewhere on the internet. It whispers promises of anonymity and freedom from surveillance, attracting those who seek to operate away from prying eyes. It's a place where identities are fluid and transactions occur in the shadows. Here, people can communicate and exchange information without revealing their true identities. This very anonymity, however, is a double-edged sword, attracting not only those seeking privacy and freedom of information but also those with more sinister intentions. Hackers, criminals, and other nefarious actors find the Darknet an ideal place to operate. While some corners of the Darknet might host forums for political dissidents or whistleblowers seeking to expose corruption, providing a vital platform for free speech and activism, these legitimate uses are dwarfed by the dark underbelly of the network. Illegal marketplaces, forums for illicit activities, and other dangerous elements thrive in this hidden world. The Darknet is not for the faint of heart. It's a digital Wild West where the rules are few and the dangers are very real. Just like the untamed frontiers of old, it is a place where caution is paramount. Navigating this digital underworld requires a certain level of technical expertise and a healthy dose of caution. One must be vigilant and aware of the risks involved. One wrong click, one misplaced trust, can lead you down a rabbit hole with potentially devastating consequences. The Darknet is a place where the stakes are high, and the margin for error is slim. The Darknet is perhaps best known as a marketplace, a digital bazaar where virtually anything can be bought and sold. This hidden part of the internet is shrouded in mystery and often associated with illegal activities. Unlike the surface web, which is accessible to everyone and indexed by search engines, the Darknet requires special software to access, making it a haven for those seeking anonymity. Here, far from the watchful eyes of search engines and regulators, a vast black market thrives. This underground economy is bustling with activity, operating in the shadows and away from the prying eyes of law enforcement. The allure of the Darknet lies in its promise of privacy and the ability to conduct transactions without leaving a trace. It's a stark contrast to the familiar online marketplaces of the surface web where goods are clearly listed, vendors are vetted, and consumer protection laws offer a degree of security. On the surface web, buyers can read reviews, compare prices, and feel confident that their transactions are safe. However, the Darknet offers none of these assurances. The Darknet marketplace operates without such constraints, and it's this unregulated nature that makes it so dangerous. Without oversight, there are no guarantees about the quality or safety of the products being sold. This lack of regulation creates an environment where anything goes, and the consequences can be dire. Drugs, weapons, stolen data, and even humans are traded like commodities on Darknet marketplaces. The range of illegal goods available is staggering, and the anonymity provided by the Darknet makes it difficult to track down the perpetrators. This illicit trade fuels a global network of crime, impacting countless lives. These illicit goods are often sold using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which offer a degree of anonymity and make transactions difficult to trace. Cryptocurrencies are favored on the Darknet because they provide a way to exchange value without revealing one's identity. This financial anonymity is a double-edged sword, facilitating both privacy and criminal activity. The anonymity of the Darknet emboldens both buyers and sellers, creating a high-risk environment where scams are rife, and the quality of goods is impossible to guarantee. Many users fall victim to fraud, losing money or receiving subpar products. The lack of accountability means that once a transaction is completed, there is little recourse for those who have been cheated. The very nature of the darknet makes it incredibly difficult to police. Law enforcement agencies face significant challenges in tracking down criminals who operate in this hidden realm. The use of encryption and anonymizing technologies makes it nearly impossible to identify users or trace their activities. Marketplaces pop up and disappear overnight, often rebranding themselves or migrating to different servers to evade detection. This constant game of cat and mouse between law enforcement and darknet operators makes it difficult to shut down these illegal activities permanently. The decentralized and anonymous nature of the network makes it a nightmare for law enforcement agencies attempting to track down those who operate within its shadows. Despite their best efforts, the darknet remains a persistent and evolving challenge, continually adapting to evade detection and enforcement. The dangers of the darknet are not limited to the illegal goods being traded. The very act of accessing the darknet exposes you to a range of risks that can have serious consequences. Malware, phishing scams, and identity theft are just a few of the threats lurking in the shadows. Malware, or malicious software, is a constant threat on the darknet. A single download from an untrusted source can infect your device with spyware, ransomware, or other harmful programs. These malicious programs can steal your personal information, lock you out of your files, or even allow hackers to take control of your device remotely. Phishing scams are another common tactic employed on the darknet. These scams often involve fake websites or emails designed to trick you into revealing your personal information, such as your login credentials or credit card details. The anonymity of the darknet makes it the perfect breeding ground for these scams, as it's much harder to track down and prosecute the perpetrators. Section 4. The Illusion of Anonymity. One of the most dangerous misconceptions about the darknet is the belief that it offers complete anonymity. While the Tor browser and other anonymizing tools can make it more difficult to track your online activity, they are not foolproof. Law enforcement agencies, intelligence agencies, and even sophisticated cybercriminals have developed techniques to pierce the veil of anonymity. Law enforcement agencies around the world are increasingly dedicating resources to combating cybercrime on the darknet. They employ sophisticated surveillance techniques, including monitoring Tor exit nodes, analyzing cryptocurrency transactions, and infiltrating darknet marketplaces. These agencies are constantly evolving their tactics to stay one step ahead of cybercriminals operating on the darknet. Cybercriminals are also adept at unmasking users on the darknet. They exploit vulnerabilities in software, use social engineering techniques, and even resort to more aggressive methods like hacking to uncover the identities of their victims. The belief that you are completely anonymous on the darknet can lead to a false sense of security, making you more vulnerable to these threats. Section 5. The long arm of the law, law enforcement on the darknet. Despite the challenges, law enforcement agencies are not powerless against the darknet's illicit activities. In recent years, there have been several high-profile operations targeting darknet marketplaces and the individuals who operate them. These operations demonstrate the commitment of law enforcement to combating cybercrime and bringing those who seek to exploit the darknet to justice. One notable example is the takedown of Silk Road, a notorious darknet marketplace that facilitated the sale of drugs, weapons, and other illegal goods. The operation, which involved multiple law enforcement agencies, resulted in the seizure of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and the arrest of the site's alleged founder, Ross William Ulbricht. These successful operations send a clear message: the long arm of the law extends even into the darkest corners of the internet. Law enforcement agencies are increasingly collaborating internationally to share intelligence, resources, and expertise to combat cybercrime on the darknet. The message is clear: engaging in illegal activities on the darknet is not worth the risk. Section 6. Real-life consequences, the darknet's human toll. The darknet's impact extends far beyond the digital realm, seeping into the very fabric of our society. The illegal activities that flourish on this hidden network have real-world consequences, often devastating for the individuals involved. From courtrooms to living rooms, the ripple effects are felt everywhere. The victims of human trafficking, who are often lured and sold through darknet channels, face unimaginable horrors. Those exploited by child pornography rings suffer in silence, their innocence stolen, and their lives forever altered. And individuals whose lives are destroyed by addiction fueled by drugs purchased on the darknet are a stark reminder of the human cost of this hidden world. The ease of access to illicit substances has led to countless overdoses and shattered families. The anonymity of the darknet emboldens criminals, making them more likely to engage in risky and harmful behavior. This cloak of invisibility allows them to operate with a sense of impunity, further exacerbating the problem. The lack of regulation and oversight creates an environment where the most vulnerable members of society are often the most at risk. Homeless individuals, children, and those in desperate situations become easy targets for exploitation. The stories of these victims are a sobering reminder that the darknet is not a victimless playground. It's a dangerous place where real lives are at stake. Each story is a testament to the profound impact this hidden world can have. The darknet's impact on the real world is a stark reminder that what happens online is not without consequence. Families are torn apart, and communities are left to pick up the pieces. The choices we make online, even in the supposed anonymity of the darknet, can have ripple effects that extend far beyond our computer screens. Every click, every transaction, every interaction can set off a chain reaction with far-reaching consequences. It's a responsibility we all bear, to be aware of the potential consequences of our actions and to use the internet responsibly. By fostering a culture of awareness and accountability, we can help mitigate the dark side of the digital age.